And Temba gets appointed as the chief in a small town in the Eastern Cape. And the first thing he does, he bans drive-through restaurants because no food comes out through the window in my chieftaincy. Good evening and welcome to Talk with Rams. And this is The Quickie. And tonight I meet somebody who does business that I think is rather tricky for black men. Am I being... I'm not going to say the word. Tshego Ratshidi is the owner and founder of Bleu Rose flowers. She's been in business for 2 years, which tells me she's doing something right. So I'm going to have to know about this one because I get shocked at Nalidi flower. Tshego, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you very much for coming in, and please shout at me. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Bleu Rose. You're going to have to tell me first where this idea came from. And I'll tell you why I'm asking this, because there are big players already in this space.
Sure.
But also, I'm asking you because I'm not joking when I say I know a lot of people who would never be your clients, and I think they should be. So.
True. So the story about Bleu Rose, where it all started, in my corporate days, I needed some time out after work, and I used to play in the garden a lot. I realized that flowers give you a lot of, I should say, good feelings, happy feelings, allow some tranquility around that. So I decided, why not start a business in that and share what I've realized flowers can do for one. And that's where Bleu Rose comes from. Why did I call it Bleu Rose? For the likes of you. So when you create a business name, it should be something that people can think Bleu Rose should be selling roses. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't know different other flower names, but they'll know a rose. Hence Bleu Rose.
But Bleu Rose I've never seen.
Yeah,
I've seen a few roses.
Yeah, they are blue roses. So they're very, you seldom find them in South Africa. You'll have to export them. They are hybrid flowers, so they're excellent. They I would say very excellent, interesting flowers, very few and far in between to come by, but beautiful and striking, and that's what I want my brand to stand for.
I can attest to one thing when you say, flowers do something to people. So I was sitting here in studio waiting for my next interview, and somebody walked in with flowers. Upon your arrival, I did not know that you're here, and I thought, somebody bought me flowers. So they do that to human beings. I really felt like excited. But why this market? I know you felt good about them. They made you feel good. But what research did you do to say this will work in the market?
So I didn't know that you can actually live off selling flowers. But I was asking myself, why do people send people in hospital flowers? And then I started reading about it, and you realize that there's a science behind flowers. That's why when we see them, we get so happy, we get excited. So doctors actually want flowers around you. So when you don't feel so good, you'll see if you've got plants in your house, they start to also not to feel so good. So those things that our moms used to tell us, have a house with green in it.
Yeah.
It actually works.
Who do you sell to? You compete. I'm not going to give their names here, but I got an email from one of them just now. Who do you sell to competing with these big boys and girls who've been in the business for a long time?
I sell to anybody who values relationships. And for me, right now, I've been playing a lot in the corporate space. So those corporates that find employee engagement to be very important to them. So that have employees who are sitting in hospital and are not doing so well. And they need those people to know that, come back, we miss you, we value you. The guys that have forgotten a birthday, they would come to me.
That's all of them, yeah.
South Africans are synonymous with buying gifts lastminute.com, and that's where we're in business.
Yeah. Where do you source your product from?
So we buy flowers from the flower auction in town. It's called Multiflora. That's where all the flower farmers will send their flowers to.
Yeah.
And people around South Africa and around the globe really go sit at that market.
Yes.
So I could be sitting next to somebody from Ghana. They'll buy in that market. So it's the third biggest flower auction in the world.
And if the source then is the same source of everybody else, how then do you differentiate Bleu Rose from yellow Valentines?
So it's the knowledge about the flowers and what they stand for and what they can do to one. So if you come to me and you say, look, I need to buy somebody flowers, you most probably don't know anything about flowers, but you know the person who's receiving them. You might know the color that they like. You might know their profile. So we ask a lot about the recipient's profile and the reason why you're sending those, and we'll craft something that will fit the need.
It's been 2 years. And what's been your experience in 2 years?
Sure. So I'm very skilled with flowers, but running a business is more than being a technician, as I quickly found out. So the experience is that South Africans buy gifts last minute. The experience is that South Africans don't know a lot about flowers. So this is largely a European thing. That's why you go to Russia, you'll get the longest roses. But interestingly enough, that they source them from Africa.
Yeah.
So Kenya, Ethiopia. So I've learned a lot about the flower industry, and interesting ride. Also to find out that I'm not really selling flowers as the hardcore product, but it's a service that I'm selling. And yeah, that's what I've learned in the business.
And it's a service of what? Of relationships.
Yes.
Maintaining
Yes.
relationships
So
and building relationships.
yeah. So I'm selling, maintaining relationships, and reminding people that I'm still here. I still care. I mean, we were quite busy about 2 months ago doing year-end gifts.
Yeah.
So corporates wanting their clients to know that I appreciate the business that we're in.
Yes.
That's where we come in, and we'll do a lot of consultation with them to find out what's your budget, who are you sending them to. So we'll ask a lot about the recipient.
How do you reach these corporates, these potential clients, whether they were corporates or small businesses or whatever they are?
So there's been a lot of cold calling, knocking on doors and saying this is who we are and this is what we do, and a lot of referrals from other people to say we've used these guys, try them.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Who listening to us now should be talking to Bleu Rose?
Everybody should be talking to Bleu Rose. At some point, you might have somebody that you know who might be sitting in hospital and they're not doing well. You should be calling us and say, please, can you send something? They might not be flower lovers, but they could appreciate a fruit basket. So we do all that. If you are a CEO and you've got a good client that is, you've just secured big business with them, and you know that these guys maybe just won a deal and you want to say congratulations, you should be talking to us. So basically, everybody.
One last question. 2 years is a great time. 2 years is a great time in any business. I reckon that you've now tested who you are and what you're capable of, and the business is a chance to become as good as it can be. What is your plan in the next 2 years?
The plan is to show people who are not into flowers that flowers is something that you should be using in your life. The plan is to grow and be known as a player in this industry. It's a fickle industry. It's not easy. It's very competitive. There's very few players in the industry, and we want our name to be known.
Well, let's tell them about your name. How do they get this name to be known? How do they go to you? How do they buy this product and make you big and grow for the next 2 years?
So you can find us on social media. Find us on Instagram as @Bleu Rose Flowers, and we spell our blue differently. We spell it BLEU. So it's @Bleu Rose Flowers. You can find us on Facebook at Bleu Rose Floral Designs. You can also go on to our online shop, which is bleuroseflowers.co.za, or call the shop at 011-730-8184.
So, be that guy. I think it's time you invested in her business, but most importantly, invest in your relationships and use Bleu Rose and help them grow. I really love the business that you do, and I know that it should go right. I just worry about Freddie and people that I associate with and whether they buy these things, and I think they should. Tshego Ratshidi from Bleu Rose Flowers. I wish you all the best, and I know it's going to work.
Thank you.
Do follow her, do support her business, but also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube, Talk with Rams, and follow us on all of our social media platforms. Cheers. Well done.